Space Shuttle, this is flight safety. Keep your hands on the handrail or inside the vehicle and remain seated while in motion. You are clear for launch. Have a great flight to Starport 75.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. How do I sound? Do I sound good?
You sound good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really stressed this week.
Well, why are you stressed?
Oh, I don't know if you noticed, but I think I owe our audience a little bit of an apology. Did you? I know you farm out all our audio editing to some sort of sweatshop out in Asia, but did you listen to our show at all last week?
I gave it a quick listen, yeah.
Yeah, turns out there was a little snafu with the audio on my end. Apparently, I can't even blame you for this. So I just want to grovel to my boss, to you, and apologize for my poor sound quality and the audience out there. So, in my defense, everything looked like it was set correctly, but it appears my computer decided to use its internal microphone instead of the fancy podcast microphone. So there's that. So I just want to apologize. Probably shouldn't have released it, but maybe other people got through it.
I know. And you actually mentioned that, and I said no, we'll release it because it's a gem of a
we'll release it because I'll do anything I need to do to make you look bad, Chris. So that's how I took it. But in reaction, as I do for so many things in life, I tried to solve this with money this time, and
did you really? Wait, you do that? No.
Listen, don't get me started. Money exists in this universe for one and only one reason, which is to use to make other things happen. That's the only reason it exists. Because you can't take it with you. They've said, and I think they're right. So why else worry about money? So. But I'd been unhappy with my sound quality for a while, so I don't know if it's going to show up in this show, but just upgraded the recording studio a little bit here. So as long as the computer does what it's supposed to, and actually record it from the right mic, we should be in good shape. Okay, so is that okay? I hope this doesn't come up on my annual review.
No.
Okay.
It is fine.
Good, because I need
it. And I wasn't upset about the...
I sincerely doubt that. As you were editing it, I'm sure. I heard
as I was
1,000 miles away.
I had a slightly different opinion. But I'm good now. It's behind us.
1,000 miles away, I'm pretty sure I heard cursing of some kind coming, wafting down the Mississippi through the Gulf.
No.
Yep, I did. Anyway... So, if you want, you can, actually, I sent you links to what I bought. If you can put that in the show notes if you like. And if anybody's curious. Because I did some research, and what I ended up with seems like a really good mix of not a lot of money, but pretty good results, which is, where it's kind of the sweet spot you look for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to spend. I don't know if you know this. Easy to spend a lot of money on audio gear. So
I'm well aware of that.
Anyway, here I am with my new sound. So let's dive in.
Yeah, let's do.
Okay,
so we'll go through news first.
Let's do news.
And now, the Disney news of the day. All right. So the first thing we have is FastPass is now available to purchase at Disneyland Paris. So we've had discussions in the last few weeks about FastPass and annual passes and all kinds of stuff regarding ticketing and how they're trying to control crowds in the parks and everything else. And I'm pretty sure I made the comment that I'm pretty sure that paid fast passes are coming, will be coming soon to the American parks. And so right after I said that, I found this article and so on July 24th, which was 2 days ago, they are in Disneyland. They're testing purchasing a FastPass for one attraction. It'll be €15, which is about $17.50 American.
$17.50 American.
So
what do you get for that? What does that give you?
You get one FastPass for one of 9 attractions.
Wait a minute. $17.50 for a single FastPass?
Yes, sir.
That's Glenn. That can't be right. Are you sure you did the math right?
I'm
in your conversion to American?
Hey man, it is for one. That's the thing that surprised me the most is that it's not like, so Universal, they have I think it's called the Express Pass.
Yeah.
And you pay I don't know, $50 maybe for a day.
But it's essentially like a.
But you go right to the front of the line
Right.
for every single attraction.
Right.
You just walk right on, right? So okay, you can kind of justify.
Oh, I would totally do it. Let's refer back to my comment about solving things with money. So yes,
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. So, but this is you buy one fast pass, ride a ride, and if you want another one, you pay another $17.50.
Glenn, why would you?
Now,
why would you recommend this? This is
The
ridiculous.
regular fast pass will be available. So if you don't want to do this, you can go and just get a normal fast pass for later in the day.
Oh, so they already have like what we Disney World fans would call a regular fast pass setup.
Yes.
I'm not clear on exactly what they have over there in Paris. So
Yeah.
okay, so they have the normal one. So if this were in Disney World, this would be like, okay, I get my 3 fast passes, and I don't know what all the rules are here, but if I want to, can I get a 4th? Is that what this means?
Yeah, if you want to.
So I can just keep layering them on top.
So they don't have, it's Disney World's only one where you can get 3 fast passes, right? I mean, so you gotta forget about Disney World. But like Disneyland, if you go to Disneyland, you can go to a fast pass kiosk, get 1 fast pass, and that's it. And then when that one is up, then you can go get a second one.
Oh, really? So it's only one at a time there. Okay.
Yeah, it's the way it used to be at Disney World.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I get so, I think because I hate it so much, I just get so befuddled on all the rules that I don't even want to know how they work. So, all right. But what we're saying is, so Disneyland, you get 1 fast pass, and you can't get them from like the app and stuff from Disneyland, right? You got to go to the kiosk.
You cannot.
Okay. Is this the same kind of thing at Paris, as far as you know?
Yep. You go and get an actual. There's no digital fast pass at Disneyland or Disneyland Paris.
That's so strange to me, but okay. Because like you'd think somebody would look across the continent or the pond and say, why don't we do what they're doing?
Yeah.
All right, that price just seems
A lot?
astronomical. And because I was thinking they didn't have fast pass at all, and that this would be like, you spend your €15 to essentially get what you get at Universal, which is like jump to the front of the line.
Right.
Which for that, maybe, because like I still haven't been on Mine Train, right? Because it's just such a long wait. I might say, you know what? If it were $10 or less, I'd probably go okay. If it got me like right up to the front, or I guess FastPass does that anyway. It's generally not a long line, right? Not a long wait. I might do that because I can never get them anyway. But,
Right.
So where do you think this is going, Glenn? Do you think it's going to an a la carte FastPass purchase thing or what?
Yeah, I do. I think that's what's going to come. I really do. I think the crowds are getting, insane, and I think that they are looking for other ways to control the crowds. But, I said it last time, and I'm going to stick to it. I think it's only going for Disney World. I think if they do introduce this, it's only going to be available for resort guests because it gives them another reason to have people stay in their resorts.
So congratulations, you now have the privilege to give us more money to get a fast pass.
But at least you have that option.
Are you saying you think they're going to get rid of standard fast pass for everybody?
No. I think that'll stay.
Okay.
I think that'll stay.
They'll layer this in on top of it.
Yeah,
I
I think so.
Okay.
And maybe it is more like here in the U.S., maybe it will be more like a Universal because they have that direct competitor down the street. Maybe it is something like that instead where you pay, $50-$60 a person and you go right to the front of the line for any attraction. Now,
since I look through my glasses in terms of how I'd like things to be for me, if we got, of course it would never be because I'm not what Disney World would cater to anyway. But if it got to a point where you could pay for that jump to the front of the line thing on a per ride basis, I think I'd welcome that. That'd be all right with me. Because FastPass as it is almost never works out for me. I get it for the same 2 or 3 rides every time, and sometimes we get them and don't even use them, and I still don't get to go on rides I want because the fast passes are all gone by the time I could do it. But if I could spend, like I said, $10 to have a guaranteed fast pass day of on the Mine Train, I'd probably do that.
Yeah, I could see wanting to do that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I just don't know that they're going to do that at Disney World.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole different dynamic.
It really is.
Okay. Well, or they can just do away with all of it at every park.
Well, that would be nice too.
Did you do that VIP thing at or whatever they call it at Universal when you went?
No, I didn't. So at Universal, if you stay at any of the non-moderate or non-value resorts, you get that included. It's free.
Oh, okay.
So it's an additional perk.
Okay. Which is where you stayed, right? You stayed at
No, we stayed at the Cabana Bay, which is a moderate, I think it's considered.
Oh,
so we did not.
You'd have to
that.
stay at like Hard Rock or something for.
Yeah, exactly. Hard Rock or the
that other one, the Royal, Portofino, whatever.
Yeah, Portofino. Yeah, those. So, yeah, I did not get it. I considered buying it, but
would it have made?
Honestly,
would it have made a difference?
Wasn't. Not really. I mean, we went, when did we go? In August of 2016, 2 years ago. And the lines just weren't that bad. I mean, we got there, we did our normal, get there early and hit the ones we knew were going to have long rides and long lines. But we really didn't encounter that many lines that we had to wait in. It really wasn't that bad. Yeah, sure. Every now and then you'd be like, it would be nice if we could just walk right up there. But for the most part, I mean, the longest line we stood in was probably 20 minutes or something.
Okay. Well, that's not bad.
So, no, it's not. I mean, yeah. Universal is way more manageable. And I mean, that's why I don't know, that I didn't regret not getting it.
Okay. Well,
so.
Yeah. I'm wondering, we're thinking of trying Universal soon. So, or at least I am. So, wondering if that'll come into play at all. But, okay.
I
guess unless we did like an actual staycation there or something for day tripping, it probably wouldn't make a lot of sense.
No, not really. I will tell you this, not to get too universal on the podcast, but there's nothing wrong with Universal.
Don't we cover all things?
We do. We cover everything.
All right.
But I will tell you this: do you want to guess the ride with the longest line? Well, you have no cheating. No cheating, or you may already know. So,
I'll be honest with you. The majority of the users are looking for Disney. So,
and Universal Hollywood.
Yeah, one person was.
So,
wait. I thought I was going to guess. Do I get to guess?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now we're talking at Islands of Adventure or just regular Universal.
Universal. Not Islands of Adventure.
Like if I can even remember the rides that are there. Well, I would guess it's something to do with Harry Potter, is what I would guess.
You would think that, yes.
Yeah.
You would be incorrect.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
So the ride with the longest line all throughout the day is the Despicable Me Minion Mayhem.
Well, that's got to be just because there's something weird with that ride, right?
It's. I don't know when the last time you were at Universal, but
like 20 years
ago. Do you remember the Hanna-Barbera ride?
Yeah, I never went on it, but I remember it, yeah.
Okay, so basically, there's one theater. You go in, and there's rows of seats, and there's like 3 sections. And it's like a flight simulator, a motion simulator.
Mm-hmm.
And so they only have one theater, and they can't handle that big of a crowd in there. And so it's like 10-minute, show ride. And so you have to wait for, the next group to
So
get out.
It's a throughput problem, not a popularity problem.
Exactly. So, but with the popularity of the Minions and everything else, it's, people want to see it too. So, so yes, that is what we did is we got there right at park opening, made a beeline right for there, and did it. And then, like, as soon as we got out, it was up to like a 45-minute wait.
Yeah. No, you're right. I am double checking your facts. I'm fact checking you right now with data on Park Leap, and you're right. By a long shot, it's like double the length of the next.
That's
one.
What I'm saying. It was a shock when I was doing my my research and all to figure out, my own touring plan, what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, really? That's it? And so it was right.
Yeah, that's shocking. I'm not waiting for that. So, okay.
But but what I'm saying is your kids might, because
then they can wait. I'll be sitting down having a beverage somewhere. They can go see them. Mom can go wait with them. All right. Well, I mean, I guess, bottom line is it makes sense that they're all going to want to monetize sort of access, right? Because I know that's your big bugaboo, but this is like, charge more for experience. But, I don't know how I feel about it, because part of me just says, just raise the price of the park ticket then, if that's what you're trying to control. But then I'm like, but then that I suppose I don't care about riding the mine train, just to make this more focused on there. But I want to go in, I want to walk around the park, don't.
Yeah, you have so many different types of visitors that are coming to your park. So you want to make them all happy. And so they're introducing all of these different variables. So, okay.
Why don't they do this? Why don't they drop the price of admission? And then, you can buy tickets for the rides you want to go on. Have they ever thought about that?
That would be a really smart idea. I can't believe they've never ever done that.
And then they could
value the tickets differently based on the popularity of the rides.
You could give them a code, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or I don't know, color coded or something.
Or the alphabet or something silly like that.
I guess alphabet. I guess that could make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess I understand why they don't do it anymore, but there's a lot of value to doing something like that. They can control exactly, how many people could ride it.
Sure.
I mean, there's lots of, I don't know. It'll never come back, I'm sure. But
when Disney Quest first opened,
I think we've had this conversation before. But I think we have new listeners, so it's okay.
It had a similar system, right? You bought a card, and on that card you had X number of points, let's say, and then each attraction cost X number of points. So if you wanted to do like the Cyberspace Mountain, that was, I'm just making up numbers, 5 points. And then if you wanted to play old retro Tron game in the arcade, that was only 1 point.
Right.
But you bought, X number of points, and then when you were done, you had to make a decision. Okay, well, do I buy more or whatever? So it was very much like the A through E tickets, where, and what I found though, because Tammy was working there at the time at Disney, we went before it. The cast member previews and everything, and we enjoyed it, and we went right after, and it still had that in, but rapidly, I forget how long it lasted. It didn't last that long, but I found that my enjoyment level when we would go after it was just the pay one price, it was, my enjoyment level went way down, because it was way more manageable when everybody had to think about what they wanted to do, and you could do more things because you couldn't, people couldn't keep riding the most popular things over and over and over.
Right.
So
the rich people could.
Well, okay, the rich people could. You're correct, but there weren't that many rich people going to Disney Quest. But
apparently not that many people at all.
No, unfortunately. So anyway, I don't remember the A through E tickets that much when I was a kid. I remember my dad, complaining about it and really budgeting what we did, and and holding on to the tickets and everything else. But Disney Quest was my real first experience with having a system like that, and I thought it worked excellent. I really did. I loved it. But it went the way of the dodo.
Yeah, and I'm sure if that were the case today, if they changed over that, I'd probably say it's a stupid decision. I'm sure there's a lot of downsides to it, but I don't know. Part of it kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's never come back, so it doesn't matter.
It's not.
It's like steam locomotives. I have a thing for steam locomotives, but I'm sure their day is done as well.
True.
Unless you go, theme parks. Which, by the way, weren't you going to do a thing on the railroad system at the Disney parks? Weren't you going to do something about that?
Yeah, you were. That's right, you were.
I thought you were going to hire somebody to do that.
I was going to hire somebody.
Oh, you were about to say I did.
Somebody volunteered to do that.
You almost said I did. See, I knew you felt that way.
No. Somebody volunteered.
I'll get to it.
And I bugged them a little bit.
I mean, that person will get to it. No, don't you know me by now? You got to keep bugging me.
I even bought a book about it.
Did you?
I bought like two books on the Disney trains that I had wanted to get, but
I was going to say, going
to fact check you and make sure you were doing.
You're like,
right.
well, honey, I don't really want to buy these expensive books, but Chris is never going to do this, so I'm going to have to get these. Right? Is one of those? Yeah, I know. One of these days, maybe when we hit our 100,000th listener. I'll do that. All right. Something else is going to be on my review. I can tell.
All right. Next.
All right. Where are we up to? Similar
Disneyland,
things.
More ticket news, and we'll just follow. This is a follow-up item, really.
Sure.
Disneyland to put new limits on park visits for some annual pass holders. So, last episode we discussed the changes that Disney World was making to their fast pass annual pass system, where they were introducing a new level that allowed annual pass holders to basically be able to visit a Disney theme park every day of the year. But you had to be flexible as to what park that is. And that's going to work for, some people, a lot of people.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. But.
So I think in that same vein, Disneyland is doing something similar, and they're saying that they can, they're going to limit the theme park you can go into if you're an annual pass holder based on which days it is of the year. So, I think one or the other will be open all the time, depending on the calendar, but then, but it might not be the park you want. Mm-hmm. So anyway.
Which still kind of I find that mind bending for some reason, but I guess, Disneyland's now doing it. I guess that's going to be a thing. I could see them holding to that for a while. So,
well, I'm looking in this article. It says, by some accounts, there are as many as 1 million annual pass holders to the Disneyland Resort.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
Though Disney has never confirmed this.
Yeah, I mean, how many do they have in a year? What's the annual attendance? That doesn't seem that surprising, actually.
Oh, it's annual attendance is
50?
Yeah, it's about that, I think.
Okay, so 1 million out of that, 1/50th. That's not surprising.
Yeah,
I got to get out there soon. I've been out there, and last time I was there was 2009. I think I was there briefly.
Yeah, briefly though.
Yeah, all right. Don't rub it in. It was a short trip. I don't get to fly over the world and spend weeks at every theme park like you do. But
oh my god. Okay. All right. Next is what's next?
Yeah. So I put this one in here. So
go ahead.
So I have in here Hollywood Studios extra magic hours. So So I'm doing updates to Park Leap, and the next update's going to be centered around opening times for the parks. What time they open and close, when extra magic hours. And extra magic hours are if you stay. I'm sure everybody knows, but if you stay at a Disney hotel, I think it's all of them, right? Any Disney hotel?
Yes, any Disney hotel. Correct.
Then it's been a while since I got to stay one. There are different parks have different extra magic hours, so it'll be open an hour earlier, in the morning, right? It'll be open 8 to 9 to people staying at Disney. Everybody else can't come in until 9, right?
Right.
Which every time I remember seeing this in the past, it was always extra magic hours was pretty much in the morning, but sometimes in the evening or nighttime as well, right? So the park might close at 11, but they'll keep it open until midnight for the extra magic hours, whatever. And maybe this has been going on a long time and I just didn't know about it, but I noticed that for Hollywood Studios right now they have morning and nighttime.
Oh wow.
Is it okay? So maybe your reaction tells me I'm not so crazy. So this seems like a new thing to me. Did you know they had this? So that it's open from 8 to 9 and then from 10 to 11. So they bookend it with two different that's why that was the extra magic hours. So do you know that?
I didn't know. I didn't because no, well, honestly, I'll be honest. I only look at that when I'm planning a trip.
Okay, well, good. So good question for you. Do you look at that if you're not staying at a Disney resort? Do you look at that as a sign to go or stay away from that park on that day?
No, if I'm off property, I avoid that park.
Yeah, okay. Well, so on a day where, and it's not every day. It's not like some days where Hollywood Studios, I can't remember what the schedule is, but let's say Tuesday is Hollywood Studios Day. It's not every Tuesday, but maybe every other Tuesday they'll have the double magic.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long that's been going on. I probably should have researched this more before the show, but
I'm guessing it's been since Toy Story Land opened?
Yeah, probably pretty recent. Because like I said, I never remember seeing it before, but it's kind of interesting. So if anybody wants to, if you're going to be staying at a park, then pay attention to that because you get 2 extra hours. Make your money count. 2 extra hours you'll spend waiting in line for Slinky Dog.
Yeah, the line's not that long anymore, but
it dropped off pretty quick.
But I mean, they only have
it's not Minions
now
waiting.
what, 10 rides now, up from 8.
Well, and that was kind of what surprised me about it. Is like I could see them, and maybe this is just a run up to it. I could see them doing this when Star Wars Land opens because just because.
Yeah, true.
But I'm like, it's not quite that much to keep you around. I didn't think, but
no, goodness, I mean. You probably have the park to yourself in the morning and at night.
Okay. Maybe it's worth
No, and that's probably why they do it. So that, for that exact reason.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, there you go. A little bonus. I didn't see any other park that had this. It was only, at least in my sampling, it was only Hollywood Studios for the foreseeable schedule. But there you go.
So what I thought this was, real quick, was for the Magic Kingdom, they offer a paid it's not called Extra Magic Hours. It's called something else, but it's a very limited number of people that get in. It's like $120 a person, I think, for, you can start getting in at 7 p.m., but it doesn't officially start till 10. But it goes from 10 to 1. And they only let in I think it's 2,000 people into the whole theme park.
This is what they used to call e-ticket night.
Well, yeah, but it's very limited. It's more limited than that.
But I think that was originally too. I mean, for some reason, the number 2,000 sticks in my head.
No, I know because I did it too back in the '90s and all, and it was.
And it wasn't $100. I think it was only
it was $10.
Yeah, it wasn't very much at all.
Yeah. Huh. So anyway, so they clear the park of everybody except the 2,000 people that paid the $120 to get in.
Right.
And the reason I'm saying this is because they have a couple of weeks ago, they let all the bloggers and vloggers and influencers.
Was Starport 75 in for that?
No, we weren't. But so anyway, but they I watched a few of them and they gave their review of it, and they did videos and everything. It's it's nobody is there.
Yeah, it's the
because
best.
It's so spread out and everything else. And I made the comment while I was watching it to my wife. I said, that would be awesome to go and pay that and go take pictures because nobody's there. And then literally 30 seconds after I said that, the guy said, if you're a photographer, this is you really ought to spend the money and come here because this is the only time you'll get pictures with no people in it.
Hey, you know what? Next time you visit, maybe we should plan a trip.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down.
How much time do you get in the bonus?
3 hours. But so it's 3 hours where it's only those people in the park,
right.
But you can get into the park at 7 p.m.
Now, is this on top of a regular ticket?
No, because
this is the ticket.
It's a separate hard ticket, right?
Okay. All right. So it doesn't matter if you already have one or not. Like you're not getting a break if you're already a pass holder or something.
No. Well, I think they have a pass holder discount, but
good.
It's not going to be. It might be like $10-15.
I'll take what I can get, Glenn.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like something we ought to do.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down with that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. And does it have a name, that program?
I'll look for it while we talk about our next thing.
Okay, fair enough. Next thing was going to be mine anyway, so I'll just jump into it.
Cool.
So I saw on, I think it was from Channel 9 here in Orlando, but it's probably carried lots of other places. Apparently, Disney World has instituted an online lost and found system, which, it looks like they're partnering with a company called Chargerback. An odd name, but so if you leave something and it covers the parks, it covers the water parks, it covers transportation, so monorail, bus, and all that stuff. If you lose something, you can go online. I guess you create a little profile, you describe the thing you lost, and then within a day or two, they'll get back to you if they find it, which I thought was pretty cool. So I was kind of surprised on two levels. One, or thought it was interesting on two levels. One, I'm like, well, hey, that's pretty cool. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, it's 2018. Like, how did this not happen already before? This seems like something that would have been there.
Yeah, true.
But I don't know. I've never taken. But did I lose something once, or did I just think about it? But in the olden days, back before, 6 months ago, when this wasn't online, I guess I don't know what you would do. You would if you got home back to Minnesota or wherever you're from, and you're like, oh, we left our child. Like, so how do we get a hold of Lost and Found? I guess they probably had a phone number you'd call, and then I don't know how that would work. Did you ever have to do a Lost and Found thing there?
No, I didn't. But that's basically what it was. It was you call Lost and Found. I just remember from when I worked there. You tell the people, oh yes, call Lost and Found. It's one central phone line. So what they do is they, after 3 days, they keep it in the park that it is, your sunglasses or whatever, right? And it's basically like City Hall or something.
Yeah.
So it stays there for 7 days, whatever it is, to basically cover, if you come back the next day and you're still there, they haven't sent it off to a centralized location yet.
Right.
But then after that number of days, then it would go to the centralized location.
Which is the TTC, right? Isn't that the thing that used to be the kennel? Isn't that the Lost and Found location now?
It was, but they're doing construction there now, so I don't know what that is. Okay. So maybe that's in conjunction with this.
No, maybe. Yeah, they ship it
last time I was there, a couple months ago, they were doing construction there. So, but yeah, so you would call and all that. So, and then after I think a year, that's when they would just sell everything to the cast members in Cast Connection.
Which seems, it's oddly practical, but it seems weird for some reason. I don't know. Here's everybody's junk. I don't know, but you know what? I think I'm going to periodically go on this website and just keep myself stocked with iPhone chargers and sunglasses.
I was going to say, I lost a pair of black Ray-Bans.
Right. They might have been slightly scratched, but right. They're really special to me, and exactly. So you can just send them my way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see why not. That must be crazy. Can you imagine the stuff they find? They never would. But can you imagine what would be really cool is if somebody could do a coffee table book of all the weird stuff that's found in Lost and Found. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be pretty amazing, yes.
I can only imagine.
Well, even I remember as a kid reading the Birnbaum books,
yeah.
And they talked about Space Mountain, how wild it was, right?
Right.
And they found hats and glasses, and even a pair of dentures.
I'm sure. Absolutely. That's great.
So I'm sure there's been a lot of weird stuff.
Why don't you propose it? I'm sure they get all kinds of proposals for books and things. Sure. Why don't you do that? Maybe they have things in the archives, I don't know, things lost back in the 70s even. That's funny. Anyway,
real quick,
kind of boring, but
that program is called Disney After Hours, and it's $120.
Wasn't that a Cinemax thing? Oh, no, it was After Dark.
Well,
is that the same kind of thing? Wait, what's going on over there?
Yeah. Oh, wait, I was on the wrong
website. Hey, that's bait and switch. That's not what I thought I was getting. All right.
This episode is sponsored by ParkLeap. Do you hate waiting in lines for your favorite rides at Disney World, Universal, and Disneyland? Of course you do. Everyone does. ParkLeap tracks current wait times for attractions in real time, analyzes them, and gives you immediate guidance on what to ride now and what to skip for a shorter wait later on. ParkLeap saves you time so you can do more, see more, and ride more. Many theme parks provide their own apps, which is great, but they only report the times. You only get information, you don't get guidance. Is that 40-minute wait good or bad? ParkLeap can tell you. ParkLeap also includes an interface that is clean, quick, and easy to use. Many vacationers travel to multiple theme parks. Now one app does it all. Whether you're a local resident and annual pass holder, or travel great lengths once a year or every few years, you want to make the most of your time and money. This is the app to get to help you do that. Get ParkLeap in the Apple App Store. And thank you to ParkLeap for sponsoring Starport 75.
Onward.
So I don't know if you put this in here because I shared it a while ago, or you just found it again, or what. But
things just, it's just the stream of things that come across mostly through Reddit. So
it's really cool. So Lego has a program where you can submit your own ideas to have them try to get them to create an actual set for sale to the public, right? That's how a lot of these things have come about. I think the Saturn V rocket, I think, started out as
It
this.
Yep.
Like the Ghostbusters car, different things have come out of this program.
Yep.
The Wall-E, the one my son just got, that was submitted through this by one of the animators on the film. He built a Lego Wall-E and then submitted it, and that's how it actually came about. So this is one of those projects that is up for voting to get Lego to look at it and perhaps see if they can make it. So it's Spaceship Earth, and it is.
Well, I'm done. I'm sold. Take my money.
Well, okay, right. So that from the get-go, like that's enough, right? Well, no. So it's not just Spaceship Earth; it is the ride. So inside, they have minifigures of each scene with the little cars going around it.
I love they even have the guy pounding the papyrus for the taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is up for vote. I'll put a link on the website. So go vote. I voted for it. Go vote for it because this would be the coolest thing ever to have, especially since I have the castle. Like to build this and have it next to it. Oh my! That would be the greatest thing.
I'm still shocked you bought that castle. That thing was not cheap because it was massively expensive
and massively awesome.
Do you still have it all put together?
Of course, yes.
Well, don't say of course. I mean, where do you keep it? Do you display it? Is it like do you keep it on your dining table? Do you all have dinner around it, or?
It was on the dining table for many, many, many months.
No, it wasn't. Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, the dining table, not the kitchen, not where you normally.
No, the dining table in the front room.
The formal. It's in the formal room.
Yeah, and then we. Oh yeah, and you can. Sorry, real quick. I'm looking at the pictures. You can actually turn it to make the cars go around.
Yeah, it goes up and back around.
Yeah. So it's still put together. It's in our bedroom now, but but yeah, it's still put together. I'm not taking that thing apart.
Okay. Did you crazy glue it with the Kraken?
No, but I really should have.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
I like how one of these pictures it shows because it was the first thing I thought of. It shows they have the columns like toppled in these flames for the burning room scene. Yeah. But it says room burning, smell not included. So which was the first thing I thought of. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's funny. And at the very end, they just take out any sort of decoration at all and just make it go backwards. And little cave art in the beginning. Yeah, I don't know if they'd ever do this or not, but maybe something similar. Of course
not, but it's really cool.
Something similar.
It's very inventive that somebody actually did this.
Yeah. I don't have this kind of talent with Legos, but it's amazing.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. All right, so go vote. So I don't know how you vote and such, but.
Yeah, you just sign in.
I'm sure somebody will put something in the show notes for it.
He actually made the little tiles. If you look in the updates, he made little tiles for the outside. They would have to be custom Lego pieces, though. But if you look at the updates, he has it covered, so it looks like Spaceship Earth, and then you turn it around and you can see the inside.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. It is a pretty cool program, and kudos to Legos people because they don't have to do that. They could just be like, whatever.
Right.
We're just gonna make it.
Right. You're doing their job for them, for goodness sake.
It's pretty cool. I get do the creators, designers. Did they get anything other than just notoriety? Did they get any royalties
so the Lego
free
one
sets?
In the instruction book, it gives like a whole write up of how it came about and like a biography of the person who submitted it. So I think that's all it is. It's just a little
something to put on your Wikipedia page.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool though.
It would be. I'd link to this one for Steamboat Willie. That looks pretty cool too.
It does.
It was back
they have
in
another
April
one for the train and stuff.
Yeah, back to the trains again.
I know. Well, I wish I knew more about them.
It seems like my son's finally starting to like Legos are starting to attract him a little bit. He gets frustrated, but I really want him to get more into it so I can have an excuse to go do more Legos. I was not much of a Lego kid. Were you? You were big into Legos, right? When you were a kid?
Yeah, that's all I've. Yeah, that and Hot Wheels.
Yeah, Hot Wheels, but I didn't do Legos much. Of course, they didn't have all these amazing kits and stuff. Well, of course, but they didn't have all these amazing kits and stuff back back in
No, but
ancient
that's why
times.
they were so awesome, because we had to use our imagination to fill it out. Now it's all these custom pieces that only fit this one model, and it's like, ugh.
See, I had the opposite problem. They'd put down a box of Legos, and I'd be like, all right, I guess I'll make a house. And I'd make a house. And I go,
your rectangle house. Yeah. That's right. With a flat roof.
Airplane. I'd make an airplane a lot.
Yeah.
But it's like...
I used to make monster trucks. The little trucks with the big wheels on them.
Where you grew up. Of course you did.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But now I want to... But it is kind of, sad with the kits, because then it's like, okay, you're making this one thing, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like, that's pretty much it. I mean, you could take it apart and make other stuff, but why would you want to?
Yeah. But back to the Disney things. But they did. So you have the castle.
Yep.
Any other really? Well, you said they have a train. One of the trains.
Well, on the
on the partner thing.
Other side, yeah. No, the castle's the only thing they have from the parks right now.
Okay, gotcha.
Official from like
they have done some cool space stuff though. You mentioned the Saturn V thing, and I think I have one of the Curiosity rover that I think also started this way, or maybe through some other program or just people voted or something. I don't know, but yep, they have some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Very neat.
Yeah.
What else do we have in the news? Any other nostalgic things we can look to the past and complain that the current times aren't as good?
Yeah. So you added this.
I did.
It is, and I watched it today, and it is on one of my favorite websites ever. And I've said this before, so
yeah, these are the people I love to hate or hate to love, but they do a good job.
Exactly, it's the right. So it's at Retro WDW, and they have this is actually the way that I found out about Retro WDW. Once I found them, I found out that they have a podcast and everything else. But this is actually the way that I found them, and I'll tell you what I was searching for. I was searching for so if you go to a resort today, there's a Disney information channel, right?
Yep.
And they have Stacy, I think is her name, and she's
top
7 or whatever it is.
Yep.
Well, they had a similar resort channel when I stayed in the Contemporary Resort in 1979.
Oh yeah, I think they've had something like that pretty much the whole time, right?
Yeah, but that was my first time staying at a Disney resort, and so it would play, and the song at the beginning and the end of it got stuck in my head and in my sister's head, and so we would sing it all the time, and even today.
Can you sing it now for us, please? How does it go?
No, I'm not going to.
Oh, come on.
No. So I was searching for this. This was like my holy grail. This is the thing I was searching for years and years and years. And I could never, ever find it. I could find all kinds of other videos and everything else. But in one of my searches, I stumbled across Retro WW. And the way they started out was, I don't know if one of the podcasters owns this business or not, but their business is really they take old videos and restore them, and they do this as a service, as a business. So you can send them your videos and they'll do it for you for a cost. But they've also asked, okay, if you have any Disney videos and you will allow us to share them, then they'll do it at a reduced cost or free or whatever it is. So that's how they get a lot of these videos. So all of that being said. You're the one that actually posted this. It was just posted on July 23rd, but it is a 16 millimeter Walt Disney World promotional film. It's silent, but it's not silent. They have theme park music, but no voice audio.
Right. Yeah, these would have been probably handed out to broadcast stations and things to use as, if they're talking about today at Disney World, they opened the monorail, blah, 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 and they would have this content to show, right? So
yeah.
So
it's only 4 minutes long, but...
Well, it's actually, and it's not one clip, it's a series, I guess, that they kind of collected up into one, so pretty cool.
It is.
I put it in here for one particular reason, though.
Why?
Do you know what that reason is?
I don't.
Because, I mean,
curious.
The nostalgia stuff is great. I mean, I could watch this stuff all the time. And actually, I know of a commercial site that does similar kinds of things with NASA from like Apollo era video and stuff. I guess they're in Houston or wherever. So they, anybody, what am I trying to say? With NASA, it's all public domain, all the negatives in the film and et cetera, but it's all kind of locked away. You have to be in Houston to go see it, whatever. So they kind of know how to get that stuff and digitize it, and then they sell their digitizations, if that's a word. But anyway, that aside. So I love, my point is I love stuff like this in general, but there was something specific about this video that kind of caught my eye, and they mentioned it in the write-up, and that's that, and I never knew this, but now that I know it, it completely makes sense to me. They show the monorail. They show people exiting the monorail, which from what are now the entrance ramps. So, the ramps to the sides, right? You get off the monorails today and you go to the middle and you go down that center ramp, right? Mm-hmm. Well, apparently the original design was the reverse of that. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
But doesn't it make complete sense now that you do know that? If for no other reason than the jam, the jam of people trying to get into the monorail, especially obviously not the resort one so much, but the regular one, the express one, whatever they call it. Mm-hmm. It just seems so narrow and jammed when you get up to the top to try and get on. It just seems like it's designed really stupidly, and in fact, it's backwards from what the original intent was.
Yeah,
which I thought was amazing. I don't understand the reason though. They said something about it being because of rain, that they realized that they needed to change, which I'm not quite sure I understand why that would be.
What they say, until rains came and unloading guests into a smaller area presented a problem, hence why it was reversed. So what I'm guessing is, okay, you got off on the outer side, right?
Right.
But there wasn't, I don't think they had the cover all the way down the ramp at the time. And so you would, if it was raining, people would get off the monorail, but would want to stop and not, walk into the rain.
Oh, okay. All right. Whereas just humans being like, oh, I don't want to go out in the rain kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I see. But if you unload on the interior, where
there's more it's more covered. Yeah.
Then people can loiter there and stop and not, and you can still unload other monorails behind them.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
So I think that kind of makes sense. Driving cause.
Yeah. I just thought it was fascinating, just because that's of all the reasons to like theme parks and why I like Disney, just the whole engineering aspect of it and why things are built the way they are and decisions they had to make. I think that to me that's the most fascinating stuff out of the whole thing. So, and I just can't believe after all these decades, I never realized that this thing is actually the reverse of what it was intended to be.
Well, actually, the TTC is kind of the original way, right? You enter through the middle and then you exit on the sides.
Right.
So that's still the way.
Yep. But it has more covering, right? So yeah, maybe. And I don't know when this changed exactly.
People leaving anyway, and it's like, just get out of here.
Cattle prods, please.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's that and they have dozens of other film and video they've restored up there. So yeah, they do good work there, those guys and gals. Yep, they do. I've only heard guys, so I'll say guys and gals, but I've only ever heard guys in their show.
Yeah, it's only guys. They've had a few female guests on their podcast, but it's all male hosts.
All right, well,
just like this show.
Yeah, just like this show. All these guys hanging out
like twins.
All right, well, you should charge them for this spot. It's a good promo for them, but some good stuff on here. Now I'm looking at the website. I'm just going to stop talking while I
know. Stuff. Well, we have a similar website where you can look at older.
Do we, Glenn?
Items? Yes.
Where is that? How would people find that sort of thing?
You go to starport75.com and you can see everything we have.
I appreciate how you say we. You're the archivist that does all that good work. So good for you. All right. I thought it was cool.
All right. So that wraps up the news.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot of news.
It is.
A little bit of rumor thrown in just for fun.
A little bit.
Hey, you know what else I want to talk about? Just because I like to, when I go to the parks, I like to mention it. Mm-hmm. Just because it doesn't happen all the time. But we have a little bit of a tradition in our home where when it's one of the kids' birthdays, we like to go to a character breakfast. I'm not quite sure how it started, but now it's become a thing now, and so now we have to.
So now we have to.
No, I mean I like going. I love spending that much money. There's nothing I enjoy more than spending.
Sir,
that kind of money.
Until you spend $200 on one skillet of food at Epcot, you cannot say anything.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, we talked about that. What was that?
It
Come
was.
on,
We went to
us.
the Disney on Broadway.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So it was $220 without tip, and then, so we got seats at the American Gardens Theater, but we had to go to this lunch thing, and at the Land, they literally bring you a cast iron skillet, one skillet of food. You can get more. I mean, it's all you care to eat, but they're trying to flip the table so quick that you don't feel too welcome. So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, this was more entertaining. You go right ahead.
I'm not bitter at all.
Well, why didn't you just eat more?
It was a fun concert.
Why didn't you
we
just
got good seats? But goodness gracious,
why didn't you just eat more until you felt like you got your money's worth out of it?
Well, I would have sat there all night if I could have, but my family was like, "Oh, let's go do something."
Oh, it's always the families. It's always the families. Anyway, so speaking of family, we went to Ohana's for character breakfast because Ohana means family, I think. Aww. Doesn't it mean family?
Sure.
Saw that movie once. And a side note, I used to make fun of it a lot, but I told my wife as we're walking through, I'm like, we should do a little staycation here at the Polynesian sometime. Mm-hmm. It's got such a nice vibe to it, and
it does.
When I was, I think I was 5, my mom and I went to Hawaii, and that still kind of sticks in my head. That kind of feel. So it's like a little getaway without having to get away. So we might go there. Anywho, all that being said, so we did the character breakfast, and I just noticed a couple things that I thought I'd point out. And because I thought they're interesting. Number one, and I think I complained about it last year or mentioned it last year, but I'll complain or mention it again this year. So, at Ohana, they used to have, let me count them, 4 characters. So they do Mickey, what's her name? Lilo, Stitch, and Pluto. I think that's everybody, right? So that's four characters, right?
Yeah.
So this year we noticed that out front where you check in by the waiting area, and they had Pluto out there to say. And when you check in for the character breakfast, they give you a little ticket. And so like Pluto is up there in like the common area, but only people that are going to the character breakfast can get in line to have their picture taken with Pluto or get an autograph. And he's not dressed in. It's not like they didn't put a little doggy outfit on him in it or anything for to make him look particularly Polynesian. But anyway, he used to be in the restaurant up until last year. They started changing this last year, and so now this year he's out at the thing in front of the restaurant. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Why would they do that? And then I realized why they do that. Glenn, do you know why they do that?
I think you said it last year, but I don't remember.
Okay, well, so when you do these character breakfasts, they do a good job of making sure that you've seen everybody. And the other tradition we have is on Christmas Eve, we go over to 1900 Park Fair, over to Grand Floridian, and we go to theirs. And they try to do a good job and make sure, okay, did you see all the characters? Get everybody? Okay, now get out, right? That's really what they want you to do, is get out so they can turn the table over.
Right.
So I realized somebody put a spreadsheet together, and if instead of having 4 characters inside the restaurant, if we moved one of them outside the restaurant that people can go do before they come eat, then we can turn over tables, 25% faster and make, another $1 trillion this month. Mm-hmm. So it kind of bugged me. It shouldn't, I guess, but it kind of does, because there's no reason he couldn't be in there other than just money stuff. So kind of, I don't know. Because when you book it, they're going to tell you 4 characters are at the character breakfast.
Right.
So, technically he is, because nobody else can get hit, and he's at the restaurant, but it's outside, and nobody else can get their picture with him unless they have the thing. Right. But it seems a little like a lie to me. But whatever. Anyway, so that was the first thing I want to note. I'm not a big fan of that practice. I understand why they're doing it, but and maybe, I don't know, maybe the less cynical side of me would say, well, it's kind of boring to just sit there and wait for your breakfast. So, and sometimes it is a decently long wait. So maybe it is, some benefit to it there. But before I go on, what do you think? Do you have any feelings about that?
No, as you just said all of that, I do remember a conversation from last year, and I think you hit it exactly on the head, because, that's exactly what happened. They can, like I just said, you don't feel, it's not a relaxing, nice little sit down dinner where you can, take your time and everything. They are trying to move these tables, like crazy. And not that they're rude, but you definitely get the vibe that, they're, this is a conveyor belt, and they are, Lucy and Ethel trying to
old reference, nice
old reference, but trying to get these people in and out, and so
yep.
So you're absolutely right. That's what happened, because then you only have to send 3 characters to the tables,
right.
and you can do that pretty quickly and get them out of there. So
yep.
And is it like a buffet or all you can eat or something?
Yeah, it's family style. It's family style, all you can eat, right?
Yeah, so it's not like they have to take your order and then go and prepare it, or I mean, they I'm sure they bring it right out, and so yes, it's all about time management, and how much money they can make. Yeah,
and just so I'm not completely repeating what I did last year, the one big change with that though is last year they didn't have that little ticket, and Glenn, these little tickets they gave out, it's literally like somebody that had the idea that morning, because they're okay. Imagine you go into Word. And Microsoft Word, and you make a little thing that says PhotoPass on it, or like Pluto PhotoPass. Oh, I should have taken a picture of it, but and you copy and paste that on your document 40 times, right? And you got a bunch of columns, a bunch of rows where it just says that, and then you photocopied it and you cut them all up with scissors, so they're not even. I mean, they're just literally just like these little chintzy pieces of paper they just handed out to everybody. That's the biggest difference, because last year anybody could have walked up and gotten their picture taken with Pluto. And it'd be like, well, wait a minute. I'm spending, they're not cheap, Glenn, these character meals. I don't know if you know this. They're $40 a person or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, at least now you're like, well, at least I know nobody else can, it's somewhat like it's a benefit for the character preference. But still, I'm like, the better show would have been leave Pluto inside where he was. If you want to keep people busy outside, then put another character out there, something else to do,
Yeah.
Which, by the way, why isn't Moana over there yet? Why isn't she in the?
That's a great question, and she would be more relevant, and it would give the not to be. This is gonna go way down.
Oh boy, settle in,
wrong
everybody.
Way, but I mean, it would give girls somebody to.
Well, they have Lilo,
right?
They have Lilo.
Okay, all right.
Well, no, I'm just saying, but I mean, in terms of gender identity.
Look, if you ask a little girl, would they rather see Lilo or Moana? Who do you think they're going to pick?
Probably Elsa.
Well,
that's probably my guess.
I don't know, honestly. I think I think it'd be close. Girls love Moana, man.
Do they really? Well, they should. I mean, she's
she's
a good, strong character, and I think that movie's really underrated. We've seen it a 1.5 million times.
Yeah.
I think the music is really good in it. Anyway, I've complained before. Anyway, so there's that. But they should add Moana in there because for many reasons.
And if we're talking about things that they obviously should do, is why isn't Coco in Mexico yet?
Well, I think we've talked about that before. That's a no-brainer. That should be there. Yeah. Maybe they get into it. It takes a while to make those costumes. Oh, which by the way, so we met Pluto. My 7-year-old son says on his 7th birthday, he's like, Pluto had to go get some dog snacks, right? And my son said, "Dad," I said, yeah. He said, "I know that they're only doing that because there's a guy in a costume in there and he needs a break." I'm like, what are you talking about? So I don't know. When were your kids kind of wise to the shenanigans with the characters? It was like 7. I thought I had a couple more years in it, but I guess not.
No, I mean I would hope by 7 they would realize.
But not that they would realize, but just like even I don't know. Part of me is like they wouldn't want to say.
Well, guess what? We still go see Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
and we still go see the characters. And guess what? It's Mickey Mouse.
Well, you know what's funny?
I don't care.
He said that. Lilo came out. And I'm like, so son, as I said, is that a character? And he wouldn't make that leap. So little kids' brains, weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, more changes. Just I noticed the little things they change, and like I said, the sort of logistical things with Disney World just fascinate me. So what most of the restaurants. Another thing about the character, most of the restaurants, you would get like those little pager things, like the little buzzy coasters sometimes, or the little wands or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like when your meal's ready. They don't do that anymore. They don't have those at all. I mean, maybe they do. They may have a few stuck at the bottom, but actually I'll send you a picture. But now you have to use your cell phone. You have to, well, I don't know if you have to. I guess if you're like, no, I don't want you texting me, but you give them your phone number and they text you when your table is ready. which I just thought was fascinating. I mean, and that kind of makes sense. It's, one less thing they have to worry about, keeping those things charged and whatever. Maybe they still have a few around just in case they need them. But no, it looks like they pretty much switched over to, I can't send this to you right now, but I will. But they had a little placard on the little sign. It said, provide us with your US, which by the way had to be a US 10-digit mobile number to receive a text message. You might have to pay for it, blah, blah, blah. You will receive approximately 3 text messages from us. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting because it's kind of a change to the technology.
That's actually really cool. I like that.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're doing those at more restaurants, but keep our eyes out. And so I covered my 3 things.
I mean, they're kind of doing that with the mobile ordering, right? You order and then you say you're here, and then it texts you and lets you know that, your food's ready, come get it. Yeah,
but that kind of makes sense because you're initiating it from the mobile side. This is more like it's just a change. That's all. But I thought it was interesting. Let's see what else. My other complaint was, at Ohana, it's breakfast. It's like scrambled eggs and sausage and bacon and whatever, and they bring it out in like this big tray thing. And let's just say this year they went pretty heavy on the potatoes and let out like and didn't quite bring out as many of the more expensive meats. But in their defense, I'll say that when we asked and we said, we didn't get any bacon or whatever, they brought out a whole new thing and loaded it up. So I guess they'll try to get away with it. And
honestly, from a let's try to waste less.
Yeah, no, it makes
perspective,
sense. Yeah.
It makes sense, and I would rather them do that and be happy to bring out
you're right.
More meat for you if you want, but at least eat what you have on the plate, and we'll give you some more, but if you don't like it, you don't want it, then that's less than I'm wasting for other people.
No, it makes sense. You're absolutely right. And I did feel bad along that line because we asked for bacon, and then they brought this massive pile of bacon out, and we didn't even eat it all. So I'm like, well, now I feel kind of bad, but next time I'm just going to bring a bunch of Ziplocs with me. I don't know. I let other people manage that.
Speaking of Ziploc, I didn't have this in the rundown, but they are going to be they are a new sponsor of KitKat in Epcot.
Ziploc
and they're going to sponsor Splash Mountain.
Ziploc.
Really? Yes.
Why Splash Mountain? Seems like a weird.
No, it's perfect.
No, is it?
Yes.
Oh, because you keep all your stuff dry.
Yeah. Oh. And from one of the articles I read, they're actually going to have Ziplocs available at
of course.
Splash Mountain for, I don't know if they're going to give them out or you're going to have to pay for them, but
they'd probably give them out.
Why wouldn't you give it out? Right?
Yeah. I mean, how much does a Ziploc cost to make? I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
I don't understand the KitKat thing, but I guess maybe they're keeping all the crayons in there or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get their name out there because apparently there's a backlash against plastic stuff.
Yeah, well, they're kind of destroying the oceans, I guess. Well, it seems like it's kind of come up out of nowhere, especially with straws. Yeah. I'm like, I had like no idea that all of a sudden I feel guilty for using a straw, and to be honest, I'm not even sure why.
Right. Well, right. But I don't know did you hear today that the Walt Disney Company announced that they are going to phase out plastic straws at all of their theme parks.
What are they going to
do? Except for Tokyo Disneyland.
Use those except for Tokyo Disneyland, they're right by the ocean. Isn't this the problem about the ocean?
Sure.
Well, Glenn, that doesn't make any sense.
What?
Except the one next to the ocean. That we're still going to use it. So what are they going to do? They're going to use those waxy paper kind of straws?
Either no straws or
you have to have straws.
Paper straw.
Yeah, you have to have straws. You can't don't you?
Say that.
No. I get a fountain drink and it's just going to be open and I'm going to hand that to my 7-year-old? No, it's not going to happen.
Why not?
No. What about the special Mickey straws? What about those?
Oh, yeah, no. Well, so that's a good point because they specifically said they're phasing out, I think it's 113 million single-use plastic straws.
Boy, single-use.
They actually put in the term single-use.
Well, they don't have to. Any straw you can make, you can use that more than once.
Well, I know that. But
man, 113 million. If I had $1 for each one of those.
I know, right?
Think
about the poor straw makers.
Wouldn't have to do this for a living. Yeah, right. Who's going to help them? We're going to put on straw tariffs up? What are we going to do?
So anyway, that was announced today.
I didn't hear that.
Since we're just talking about things that
it is about the oceans, right? Is it? Did I make that connection right?
I don't know, man. You asking me stuff. I really don't know. I just know that
it literally seems like in the last
in the last couple days, there's been this uproar about plastic straws that came, like you said, out of nowhere.
It's literally been that fast, right? It's like been the last couple of weeks. Like all of a sudden, I'm here. I'm guilty for using a straw. I don't know why. Like people are looking at me.
Now major companies are getting rid of straws.
I think it is something to do with the ocean, and because I've been hearing a lot in kind of along with it. We really should be more prepared for the show, but something about the apparently there's a lot of trash out in the especially in the Pacific. So we should ask Moana about that. Maybe she knows what's up. But I guess that's what it is. I don't know. I feel guilty. I don't even like straws that much. So.
Santa Barbara approves jail time for straw ban violators.
Jail time? I'm just trying to get hydrated. Is this going to be a thing now where like everybody's going to bring their own straws? We're going to get like gold-plated straws, our own ones.
Well, I think Coke sells like silver ones that
do they?
Or metal ones.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Huh.
But how do you clean them? Like. I guess you get a pipe cleaner. So the pipe cleaner people will be
no matter what it is. Like
ones,
I mean, won't it be like plasticware soon? Like I mean, in the end, isn't it everything?
Yeah. Well, Disney also said they're going to phase out all. I'll say styrofoam, but I think it's poly something styrene.
Where do they use that?
I think.
We need a chemist on this show.
I was going to make some stuff up. But,
you should. Who's going to challenge you?
Coffee. But they don't even use it for coffee anymore. Maybe in the rooms, do they have the... Oh, you know what? Maybe in the rooms they have the little thinner styrofoam cups.
Oh, God. I hate those anyway. They should get rid of those. Those are terrible. So, anyway. But do you know the paper straws I'm talking about? They were a thing back in like the 70s and 80s, I think. Of course. I never see them anymore.
No, you don't. But you will.
I guess now.
Cheap.
Wow.
Well, what about the plastic top for the cup? What are they going to do about that?
I guess that's not killing any wildlife. I don't know. But I was thinking about that because I've been getting this like cold coffee, cold brew thing from Starbucks.
Yeah.
And they have these, and I think it's for a different reason because they have one of their drinks has like cold foam on the top, and so, but the lid for it isn't a standard lid with the little straw thing like they do for all the other ones. It's like I think they call it like a sippy lid. It's like it's got like a little oval, hole off to the side, like a sippy cup, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think it's so you get the coffee and the foam at the same time. But I guess you could start doing things like that. It's a single piece rather than worrying about it's one less inventory thing you have to deal with. What about shakes? What do you do about shakes? Gotta have a straw for that.
That's a good point.
What about boba teas? There's so many questions here.
Well, right. I know. So earlier this month,
Strawgate.
Seattle became the first major city to ban single-use plastic straws and utensils. And then San Francisco followed suit on Tuesday with an ordinance that's expected to take effect in 2019.
What was the first city you said?
Seattle.
Yeah, they're just trying to get attention.
Corporate plastic bans are also quickly gaining momentum. Companies like Starbucks, Aramark, and American Airlines are vowing to stop offering plastic straws.
Aramark, that's huge.
Yeah. Plastic straw bans won't alone change much. Less than 9% of all the plastic we use every day gets recycled.
So is this just general plastic hatred, or there's something specific here?
Yeah. Instead, most ends up in landfills or floating out in the open.
Yeah. Well, the floating part I can get, but I mean, to be real here, to keep things in perspective, I mean, a straw compresses down to pretty much nothing. So, yes. I mean, if you're really worrying about just forgetting the oceans for a second, if you're really worrying about, garbage piling up and landfill stuff, that seems like the least of your worries, but maybe not.
Yeah. So what they're saying is it's basically, it's a start, to try to get rid of all this plastic. And so even though it's not going to make a huge difference, it's at least...
But we've already started. But we already do like water bottles and stuff. This isn't a start. We already do this, don't we? Like, don't you already bring your own like a reusable water bottle thing?
I do.
To Disney.
That you hate? Yeah.
No, I don't hate. I have one now. I'm a part of the Glen Club with the thing. Okay, so no straws. How do we get on this? What were we talking about?
I have no earthly idea, but
I'll listen to the show.
I'll let you know tomorrow when I'm editing.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to listen to the show.
Put it in the show
what we talked about.
The show notes are going to be like War and Peace.
I know somebody in IRL, as they say, and that listens to the show, and they're like, yeah, that one time that Glenn said this, and you replied with that. I'm like, really? I don't remember. I don't remember anything I say in the show.
Was I on that week?
Must have been a guest host.
Right.
Bad mic. Straws. How do we get there? I don't know. Anyway, so just to close out my Ohana thing, it was pretty good. We had a great waitress. I actually went up. It's funny because she was really good because she didn't pressure us. And the other thing I was going to mention that I appreciated. She said, "Did you know?" I almost said cast members, not cast members. Annual pass holders get a discount on character breakfasts and things. Like, I didn't even ask. I didn't even think about it, but it was a 10% off discount. Which on a $150 breakfast is, a decent amount of money. Yeah. You could buy a lot of straws with that.
You could buy a lot of straws with that.
Anyway, so she was good, and I saw this clump of like 3 people kind of like standing near each other, just chit-chatting. And you can always pick out the managers at Disney World, can't you? You just know which one. Like, they're always kind of clustered together, and they have one of those little garbagey pickup things in their hands. Yeah. But anyway, I went over them. I said, "You guys look like management types." And they're like, "Yep, we're management." I said, "Our waitress is really good." Anyway, so my point to that: if you're in the parks and somebody does something really good, then at least acknowledge them somehow. Like, they probably got free Mickey waffles or something. All right. I think that's all we had to talk about this week, right? Straws, we covered that. I apologize for my bad audio. That's pretty much the show.
Pretty much.
Okay. Talked about how good retro WDW was. So
yeah, we
ignore us and go talk to them. No, wait. That's the wrong message.
So do you have a pick for the week or no?
Oh, right. We're going to do picks. I really don't.
Okay.
You know what? I'll why don't you put links to the new microphone and stuff that I got, because I kind of mentioned at the top of the show. I did a little research, and it's a good pick, and I'm pretty happy with what I ended up with for not a lot of money. So why don't you put those? So if anybody else is looking to do some audio recording, not just for podcasts but other stuff, it's pretty good gear. All yours.
All right. No, I'm good.
All right. No pick. No, come on.
No.
All right. I'm gonna pick this other thing. You ready?
No,
I have this other pick. I'm gonna do it.
Nope. We're ending the show.
Wait a minute. You won't do the pick that I know you want to pick, but you won't let me do it either.
No.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You see, people. Do you see what I put up with? Like 10 years, 12 to 100 years now I've been putting up with this crap. All right, you're missing out.
I know.
Yeah. At least put it in the show notes. It'd be like a mystery pick.
Okay.
A secret, like a quiet pick. All right. Is that it? Is that a show?
That's it.
Okay. I'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Starport 75. Follow Chris on Twitter and Instagram at CBGray, and Glenn on Twitter and Instagram at DizWiz. Follow the show on Twitter and Facebook at Starport75 and Instagram at TheStarport75. For all things related to the show, including show notes and links to connect with us, visit us at starport75.com.